Okay, so there's one representative per town. With the school board votes, there are 1,001 votes. So how many votes does each town representative get? So town A has one person, town B has one person, town C, town D. That's not weighted voting. What weighted voting is that town A's representative, their vote carries more weight, carries more power than town B, than town C. About a little over 4 times the amount of power. And so they're saying, hey, if you add up all four of these people's votes, it should be 1,001 votes. So we need to distribute those 1,001 votes proportional to the size of each of these towns. So the first thing we'll want to do is calculate the total population. Oops, that's not going to work over there. If we add all those up, that's 4,283 people represented. Oops, not dollars, represented by this school board. And so town A, if we're going to give them a proportional amount, we should take the town A's population and divide it by the total population. So this calculates the decimal form of the percentage that they represent, and then multiply that to the 1,001 votes that are going to be possible. Oops, I gotta hit the right keys. 1837 divide 4283 times 1001. So town A, if we round, is going to get 429 votes. So when that person votes, it's like it counts 429 points worth because they're representing more people than town B. Town B has 445 people. So divide that by the total number of people in this district and then multiply it by 1,001. So town B, and then times 1,001. So that's 104 people. Sorry, 104 votes. So you can think of that as points. Town A, 429 points. Town B, if they teamed up, they'd be over half. So if a vote requires a majority, then Town A and Town B can band together to get something passed. Town C, okay, so an interesting debate you could have in whatever class you're taking is whether this is a fair voting system. I would say yes, but maybe there's arguments against it. I rounded there. Because Town A has more people. So whoever they elect as their representative probably should have a greater vote because they're representing the will, hopefully, of more people. But the problem is you get some crazy person in Town A and then all of a sudden you're ruining the school. And then times 1,001, which is what happens often in the country. Okay, so I typed that one all out instead of writing it. That's 375. And so we did some rounding. We should just check, see what happened. 429 plus 104 plus 93. Oops. Adds up. Okay. So Town D, they get 375 votes every time they vote. And one interesting thing before I move on, this doesn't really count as these problems, but sometimes with these weighted voting systems, you have a dictator, somebody that doesn't matter what the other people vote as. They have so much weight behind their vote that it doesn't matter. I don't think there's a dictator here if we're talking about a 50% cutoff, because look, this is less than 50%. But if Town A had like 502 votes, and all the other towns still added up to 1,001, then Town A would be a dictator, and they could just say whatever I want goes because their vote outweighs everybody else. Town A has to have somebody else vote with them, some other town representative, if they're going to pass the 50% cutoff. Okay, in the Electoral College, I don't think it works quite this simply, but it's similar. There's 435 of the votes are based on population in the Electoral College. So assume the total population of the United States is 333 million. Same type of thing. Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania. We're supposed to calculate how much of the Electoral College votes goes to each state. So for Arizona, it says it's 7 million. We're going to divide that by the 333 million that are in the country, and that calculates the proportion of vote that should be given to Arizona. And then we multiply that by 435. Another good debate for whatever class you're in is whether the Electoral College system is a fair system, whether it should just be popular vote. So that's That rounds down to 9 votes. 9 out of the 435 votes goes to Arizona. Georgia, on my mind. Georgia's 11. So 11 divided by 333. So that's 14.36. So that rounds down to 14. I'm not giving fractions of votes. Pennsylvania, 13 divided by 333 times 435. These are all important states in a recent election to when this was made. They're all close. So this is 17. So Arizona gets 9 out of the 435 electoral college votes. Georgia gets 14. Pennsylvania gets 17. That's how many votes they get according to this weighted average.